tree stewards. What you doing?
We're removing ivy from a hackberry tree up here in Churchill.
So, how are you doing this? You're down here on the ground.
Well, the first thing we do is we want to get where the ivy is coming onto the tree and remove it without damaging the bark. And then eventually we'll also get our digger out and remove it, hopefully by the roots, at least a foot or two away from the tree if possible. And we want to prevent this ivy from killing this tree. Once it starts climbing up the tree, it can encircle it and choke it. So this is the first step. And then we're going to move a little further up. We've already played around a little bit here with cutting this section out a little further up. And we'll do that all the way around and then let it die on the tree. If you want, you can see where we've done this before in the past. And you have the dead vines up the tree.
Oh, sure. Now, once you cut those vines, do you just yank them off and pull them high?
You leave them there because you don't want to damage the tree bark. Only pull off what's not securely attached. Anything that's securely attached to the tree, you wait till it dies and eventually it will come off.
All right, let's watch how you do this. So it looks like what you're doing is you're pulling off ivy that isn't actually attached to anything. It's kind of what's midway between the ground and the tree base. So
right, we're trying to cut off where it comes from the ground and starts going up the tree.
Starts going up the tree,
yeah,
right. So it's not really attached. And then dealing with something that's actually attached to the tree is a different technique. So we're going to take this, it's too big for a lopper, so we're just going to try and find a spot with maybe a looser attachment and saw it and cut it. So you've used a saw to kind of get into this big fat root that was too big for loppers.
Yeah.
And then I see you're kind of prying,
Gently
prying.
Right, gently pry behind it.
Behind it to kind of loosen up those little...
If possible. Want to see if you can on that side maybe. And if not, we may have to try to saw it a little bit more.
Okay, so if you can't actually pry it, you'll just saw it in a different spot and maybe take out a chunk.
We may end up having to go up a little higher.
Go a little higher, okay.
We can cut
Attachment from below.
Okay, yeah, so we've created just a little, about 1.5 inch, 2-inch space.
Yeah.
And that's going to kill that ivy up that tree. Okay, so having pretty much cleared the base, now we're going up the tree to get after some of these vines.
And again, just try to leave a couple inch space if you can. Try to get vines that aren't attached. Like this is still pretty loose here.
Right.
So it's not removing bark.
Okay. And I just want to comment while you're doing this, you both are well protected. You're wearing gloves, long sleeves, your legs are covered. Before we do this, we want to check for poison ivy.
Right.
And we do know that sometimes we get spiders and critters in the ivy, so you want to make sure you've got your personal protective equipment on if you're really planning to come out and spend a day. All right, so we're cutting in here.
I'm going to have to get a little bit bigger one for that. And again,
but already this tree looks like it's able to breathe better. Wow.
This will be a very happy tree.
What a difference it's going to make. And I can tell by the other trees where the ivy has been removed, the canopy is full and they look healthy. So this is the right thing to do, folks. Thanks so much for your good work here.